Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Recently, we did a story about a businessman wandering around handing out envelopes filled with cash to various MPs and staffers in the SNP, particularly in the Westminster branch of the SNP. And it turns out that this businessman, if that is indeed what he is a relative of an SNP MP. Now, of course, we don't know who the businessman is, and we certainly don't know who the SNP MP is, but we can make some educated guesses. And as to the motive of why, well, of course, it could be quite simple. He may just be a particularly generous person who feels that he'd like to help out a little bit with some cash. Of course, if it's over £500, they are obliged to report it. And therefore, not just report the receipt, but report who supplied the money. And of course, they haven't done that because, well, this is the SNP. The rules don't apply to them. But it would, of course, more likely be the other reason why he's handing this money out. He wants something in return. He's buying indulgences. He's buying favours. He wants something done. And the one thing is, if any party was to be the one that you'd most likely believe was so corrupt it would accept cash in envelopes for favours, of course it would be the SNP. I certainly wouldn't find that very hard to believe at all, and I'm sure most of you wouldn't either. Anyway, we'll take a look at this because the guy now, it appears, is absolutely furious that somebody reported him to the police, and he's desperately going around trying to find out who it is. Good luck with that. I don't think anyone's going to admit to it, are they? Anyway, we'll take a look at this article and let's hope that the people are revealed in the very near future. Here goes. So we do really have another whodunit here. Obviously not to the same extent as the BBC's whodunit, but this is the MP's whodunit. We want to know who the MP is, who the relation is, and what is the purpose of all this money stuffed into little white envelopes and handed out so willingly by this particular person. Anyway, the SNP envelope stuffer is furious and wants to know who shopped him to the police. I mean, why? What's he going to do? Take out a hit or something? The businessman, who is understood to be a relative of an SNP MP, wants to know who contacted the police over allegations of undeclared cash donations to the party. It wasn't, of course, to the party, it was to individuals. If he wanted to make a donation to the party, he'd have written a cheque out, made over, and handed it to the treasurer. That wasn't the case. A business figure accused of stuffing cash in white envelopes and sending them to the SNP has been angrily questioning friends about who told the police. The man is understood to be a relative of a party MP and has been refusing to answer his door in recent weeks, so they know who he is. They're just not saying. I think they should be saying. He is said to have been questioning others to learn who contacted the police. It could be anyone, couldn't it? Probably not someone in the SNP, though. Probably someone who's watched it happen. It could be one of the other parties or something. Anyway, the Sunday Mail reports that his search for an individual who shopped him has even included a furious public confrontation at a shopping centre. A source said he's been going around the associates, friends and family demanding to know who has reported him. And he's absolutely livid, as you can imagine. There's been a confrontation in the shopping centre and it's causing all sorts of trouble. If you don't want to get in trouble with the police, there is an easy way to avoid it. Don't try and bribe people, you corrupt bastard. I'm going to go around, I want this, have this, have this. There's nothing is for nothing. There is no such thing as a free lunch. He's after something and he's been caught. And he absolutely hates the idea that he's been caught. Well, technically, he should be prosecuted for attempting to corrupt a public official. Anyway, he thinks the police have been outside his house and he is not happy about getting caught up in this scandal. The scandal he started, of course he's caught up in it. His MP relative is also keeping very quiet about the whole thing because, of course, he doesn't want to be tarred with this brush. He's probably the one who suggested it. A whistleblower has claimed senior party figures at the SNP received donations from the man and then broke electoral law by failing to publish details. Wouldn't it be funny if it was someone like, and I'm not saying it is, but if it was someone like Kate Forbes And she's going, oh, hey, look, boom, 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 boom. Get rid of all these people who didn't like me at the election. Get rid of some of the old farts who pushed for Humza Yousaf. I still think she's going to go for it, you know. Anyway, the allegations made in a letter to the police and to the Lord Advocate, the country's chief prosecutor, are understood to have involved tens of thousands of pounds. Police Scotland have said they're still assessing the letter. Donations to political parties must be declared if they're worth more than £500, as I said in the header to this piece. And a failure to do so is a criminal offence. So every one of these MPs that's accepted it, or staffers or anyone who's accepted it and has failed to declare it, can be prosecuted, and indeed can have lost their seat over this, because if they're seen to have done it, they can impose a ban and they can be forced out, like they've done to others, you know, to Ferrier, to Boris. So it could end up being rather damaging. He's trying to do a good deed, as it were, and it could end up costing the SNP 5, 6, 7 seats. Oh dear, what a shame. Look at the tears running down my face. Anyway, reports suggest that the letter describes how the businessman expressed and boasted on several occasions in public spaces that he had donated tens of thousands of pounds to the SNP over many occasions and years. It also alleges that donations were handed over as cash in white envelopes. Details in the letter are also said to include timings of the donations, and I bet it also then will include the names of those who were fortunate enough to receive a nice little Christmas bonus. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I wonder who it is. Don't care about the businessman, of course. He's not the important one here. I want to know who the MP is. Now, the people know. The press know. The press know. They're just not saying. It's a bugger, isn't it? We need to know. Why are these people? Just say it. Just say who it is. Then we can all point at them. Force them out. Unbelievable. But it doesn't surprise me. Of all the parties, SNP, not a chance. They're the ones most likely to do it. Anyway, I shall stop there and I shall come up. So there we are. I mean, all parties are the same. They're all filled with lazy, sleazy, corrupt, greedy, two-faced, hypocritical toads. I mean, there's very few politicians that don't fall into that category. Most of them are, and it doesn't matter the party. Labour, Conservative, Tory, Lib Dem, Greens, and of course the SNP. The SNP, of course, are the masters of the game. They are absolutely the worst of the worst. But don't put any loyalty to any one party. They'd throw you under the bus for the price of a cup of tea. They have no loyalty to you, only to themselves. It's just a case of, you know, which particular clowns you want to be running the circus. We are nothing to them. And that is why you shouldn't ever sort of sit there and try and defend a political party, because they're all filled with people just like this. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Definitely subscribe. Let's keep the truth coming. Let's keep them honest if we can. But I still really want to know who this MP is. No wonder they're keeping their head down, though. I've got suspicions, but I'm not going to say. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, they are all lying bastards. Bye.